All right, this is for the complete newbie to DaVinci Resolve. You have no interest in being a professional video editor. You have some vacation videos that you want to edit together, or maybe a work presentation. So you've got videos in different formats and different sizes, and you just want to put them together real quickly and easily. DaVinci Resolve is great for that, easy to use, and most importantly, unlike Adobe, it's free. So you've downloaded and installed DaVinci Resolve. I'm not going to show you how to do a download and install, but we are going to click on it here and launch it. When you launch it, you'll get this projects panel. Mine's got a bunch of stuff in it because I have a bunch of projects. You don't, you have nothing. So you're going to go new project and you're going to name it whatever you want it to be. So we'll call this vacation videos. Hit create. You'll be taken to a bunch of pages. The default one is this one, which is the cut page, and that's going to really do everything you need. However, we're going to work in the edit page. Why? Because I like it better, that's why, and I'm doing this video. Now, I've got all my videos that I want to put together, and I'm literally just going to click on each of the ones that I want, and I'm going to drag and drop them over here into the media pool. What's interesting about DaVinci Resolve is it has a default frame rate. So those videos that I was importing, some are at 50 frames per second, some are at 24 frames per second, that kind of stuff. So in my case, it's asking, do I want to change the default timeline to that? And I'm actually going to say no. I want to leave it at the default. So I'm not going to show you how to set up folders or anything like that. I am going to say right click, timelines, create new timeline. That's what we want. Now notice how we were talking about those frame rates. So if I uncheck this really quick and I'm going to go over to format, this is where we see that stuff. So the default is 1920 by 1080, which is very common. Some of these videos are going to be larger than 1920 by 1080. Some are going to be smaller. Some are going to be in 50 frames per second. Some are going to be in 24. 24 is standard. 1920 by 1080 is standard. Leave it at the default. So I'm going to just leave everything at the default. I'm going to change the name. Hit create. Now, in the timeline here, I'm going to start adding the videos. So my first one, I'm going to pull this Adobe stock video in. It has no sound to it, it's just video. And you can see as I scroll through, it's just some footage of some birds on an island. Great. I'm going to zoom out a little bit. You see this little slider here? Just click on that. And now I'm going to go for my next one, which is going to be a video that I downloaded from YouTube of somebody's for the purpose of this demo. So I don't remember where I got it, but it's somebody's video about Bigfoot. And notice this one actually has sound on it. Your videos probably will have sound. You can adjust sound volumes and that kind of stuff. For this video, we're just focusing on video, so I don't really care about the sound. I'm going to mute it. That's this little icon here. You can leave yours unmuted because maybe you want the sound for whatever reason. And I just want, let's say this, let's scroll, here we go. So this is a good section of the Bigfoot. And notice I don't want any of this beginning stuff. There's two ways to get rid of it. I can click on it, and if I mouse over, notice that the icon changes, and I click and it turns red, and I can just drag and drop it until it gets to that little playhead there. And now I've got the space that I want to get rid of. I don't want a bunch of blank space. You can either click on it and drag and move it until it clips in there. If yours isn't kind of doing this, it might be hard to see. If yours isn't doing this little, where it kind of magnetizes almost, hit this little icon here and make sure it's highlighted. If it's not, now it's not really going to do that. Check it, and now it does. Or what you can do is click within the two videos, right click on your mouse and hit ripple delete, and it'll automatically move it to the end of that space. Now I just want this to, well, I just want that little clip, right? So instead of clicking and dragging, because it's all the way down here, so I'd have to zoom all the way out and drag it. I don't want to do that. I'm going to instead hit Control B on my keyboard, and notice what it did is it just cut it where that playhead is. If you don't want to do that, you can also hit this little icon here, which is your blade edit mode, and click wherever you want it to cut. And then when you want to switch back to the standard selection mode, just hit that or hit A on your keyboard, and that will do the same. So I'm just going to select those, and I'm just going to hit delete. And I'm going to select that, hit delete. So there's that. Next one I have here is going to be this one, which, as you can see, is in a vertical format. So let's give us some more space. If I want to fill the space with it, I can over here with the inspector. There's this zoom option. If I mouse over, you can see it, the arrows point, and I can just click and drag it left and right if I want to adjust the space within there. You can also click in it and just type in a value. You can move it around as well for a vertical or whatever, right? In this case, I actually want to leave it like that, but again, I want to cut it shorter. So let's just hit the V, oops. Let's just hit Control B on the keyboard, select that, get rid of that. Now, I've also got some old World War I footage. So notice what it did here is, since it's in the old 4:3 format, it's got the black on the side, and I actually want this to fill the frame. There we go. Let's switch to this to make it easier to see. There we go. So, and I actually don't want that. I want it to fill the frame. I can just click and zoom in. It'll fill the frame. But the thing to note with this is it's just increasing the size. It's not increasing the resolution. So if the original video is low resolution, which this is going to be, zooming in isn't going to make that resolution any better. So that's something to keep in mind. If I don't want to increase that size, but I do want to fill this space around the edges, this is something that you'll see a lot of people do with YouTube videos. So I'm going to hit the Alt key and hold it down, and I'm just going to click on this, and I'm just going to drag up, and what it's doing is it's copying that. Notice it did do it with the audio as well. So if you don't want the audio copied, you can right click on it, unlink it, and delete it. But we won't get into that too much. The important thing to note here is on this lower video, click it, go to video, zoom, so you're increasing the size, so it's going to take up that background space. Hit effects, and just do a search for blur. We don't want that blur, we want, there it is, that's the one I want. So it's under OpenFX, Gasson blur. Click on it and just hold it down, drag and drop, and notice it blurs it. Now we can adjust our blur, and maybe we'll reduce the opacity a little bit. So I know I did that pretty quick, but this is to give you an idea of, like I said, what you see a lot of people do on YouTube. I've got some spaces here. There's a quick way to remove the spaces, but I'm not going to show you that. I'm just going to click them and drag them over. So now I've got all the videos that I want put together into a little timeline. Now it's ready to export it. I want to export my vacation videos. Go over to the far right down here, and that's your deliver page. Click on that. You've got some custom options that you can select or leave it to the default. Generally, I recommend leaving it to the default, which is going to be this QuickTime H.264, or what I like is actually MP4 H.264, because most anything will play that. You're not going to have any problems with that. You can also, if you scroll over, notice we've got defaults like TikTok, Vimeo, YouTube. You can click on YouTube because it's going to do that MP4 H.264, and YouTube's so popular that, of course, everything's going to play that. I'm going to change the name of it to vacation video, and where I want it to save to, I'm going to click browse, and I'm going to set it to my desktop. Now, once I've selected the name, the destination, the format, hit add to render queue, and then go render all. Now it's going to render that video. which will allow me to play it wherever I want. So I know this was kind of quick and basic, but it should give you that essential importing, throwing the videos together into a timeline, removing the beginnings and ends of the videos and exporting them. And now when I go to my desktop, I'm going to have my vacation videos. I'm going to be able to upload that online. I'm going to be able to put it on a flash drive and share it. And that's it. So if there's more than this that you'd like to know or that I didn't cover, one, search the channel. That I might have already covered it in another video, or leave a comment in the notes and maybe I'll address it in a later video or just respond to your comment.